I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for a little while. Um, I think that this coaching work naturally leads to consciousness work. And there's a lot of adjacent work around subconscious, superconscious. Same with like professional development, personal development can be very adjacent to growth and to evolution and to spirituality. And this word manifestation is like, I don't know, such a pop culture word. And I think it's an interesting word and concept. And I wanted to refocus the conversation around our identity, our becoming, and how we co-create with life. How do you actually, quote unquote, manifest said thing? And I actually did lit search around manifestation and co-creation and actually found a little bit in healthcare co-creation, like with studies, but beyond that, just the psychology around creating an identity. And I thought it would be perfect for this space and for our contemplation. We spend a lot of time in this space and in coaching in general, not just looking at where we are, but about where we're going. In the very first episode, I think I told you that the word for coaching came from coach, the vehicle that takes you from one place to another. And so we're always in this space thinking about forward momentum, the future, our becoming, our identity. What's in the way? What's the barrier? How do we get from here to there, right? And so we end up talking a lot about what we want, what we're calling in. And this is where that word sneaks in, what we're manifesting, right? The life that we're asking for, that we're asking the universe for, that we're trusting for, that we're asking ourselves for. It doesn't have to be like, you believe in any certain thing. This can just be about your belief in you. A life that has more joy, more love, more ease, more fun, more abundance. And I don't think that that's wrong. We did a whole episode about desire and how desire is sacred. Desire is also information. We talk a lot about emotions as messengers. It's just information. And I've started to wonder if this act of looking forward to, journeying to, is only getting us halfway there. Because asking for something is not the same as being able to live it. And that's what today's about. Not just about what you want, but who do you have to be to hold it? You know what I mean? Who do you have to become in order to be the person that can live exactly what you're asking for? And that's the half that we don't talk about. So let me give you a super simple example. This is the actual one the actual like contemplation that started this whole thing for me. But let's say that I wanted to have more fun in my life. Like I'm a tightly wound person, I micromanage, and I want to have more fun in my life and my job and my day. Like that's a clear desire, right? I want to go from here to there. So what's in my way, And I'm asking the universe, I'm asking the environment, like, give me a life that's more fun. But the other half of the question is, am I someone who can take a joke easily? Am I someone who can laugh easily? Can I laugh at myself? Can I let moments be imperfect and like still enjoy them? Who do I have to be to rise in order to meet the life that I'm asking for? Or am I just asking life to deliver me fun while I remain guarded and serious and self-protective and tight? Because then no matter how much fun is delivered to my door, my gate is locked. I'm not letting it in. If fun showed up tomorrow, spontaneous, unpredictable, messy, silly, would I even recognize it, that that's what I asked for? Or would I just resist it because I don't do the work of becoming the person who can have the fun, be the fun? And this is the part that I think coaching and cognitive emotional management is here to bring to the equation. Like the desire is only half of it, but the other half is the identity. And so what I want to explore with you is that we don't just create the experiences, we create ourselves in relationship to those experiences. I don't think it's like, oh, I got what I want. I think it's more like I grow into what I'm asking for. I become a match for it. I can live it. I can embody it. I have another excerpt from Conversations with God, the third book, and I think it really ties in here so easily. And it says this: the world will follow your idea about yourself. What you think, you create. What you create, you become. What you become, you express. What you express, you experience. And what you experience, you are. That was dense and deep. And I think you could have just just gone right past it. Like, oh, okay, what you think you become. Sure. And that's what you are. Sure. I'm just going to think abundance and I'll be abundance, but it's not like that. So let's take, for example, that I do want to have more fun in my life. Okay. So I'm thinking okay, I want to have more fun in my life. So how do I create more fun? Okay. I'm going to play a joke on a friend. I'm going to tickle my kids. I'm going to let my self-criticism down. And when someone makes a joke at me, I'm actually going to laugh with them. So I'm creating fun, right? And guess what? Now I've become the fun. I've become the mom that tickles my kid. I've become the coworker who laughs at herself. And as I become that fun, I have to express it. I express it through the tickling. I express it through the laughing, the guard being down. And as I'm expressing the tickling and the guard being down, I'm actually experiencing it. By expressing that fun, the tickling, the letting the guard down, I'm experiencing the fun myself. I am experiencing it. And what I experience, I am. I am Satie, and I am the house of fun, the body of fun, the laughter of fun. Does that make sense? I am fun embodied. I am fun here in the physical plane. And I think that those moments are so beautiful and real, and we don't even recognize them. We don't even recognize that becoming, expression, experience is being the embodiment of that thing. You can insert anything here. Let's say you want to have more love in your life. The usual way that we're taught is we're going to wait for someone to romance us and take us out and tell us nice things, and then we'll allow for ourselves to feel love. But what if that's not it at all? What if you are the house of love? Because, okay, I'm going to think loving thoughts, so now I'm going to create love. I'm going to check on my neighbor. I'm going to write someone a beautiful letter. I'm creating love. And when I create love, I become love. I am pen to paper love. I am knock on the door love. I've become love. And when I become love, I express love. I'm connecting with you. Hey, how's everything going, neighbor? I'm expressing, putting that letter in the mail to the friend. And as I express it, I'm experiencing it. Oh, I feel so much love putting this letter in the mail. I can't wait till they read it. Oh my gosh, I wonder, what is their face going to be? Oh, I'm experiencing the love before it's even made it there. I'm experiencing the love. My neighbor, and we're looking at each other's eyes and how are you doing? Tell me more. Can I make you a meal? As I express the love to them, I'm experiencing love. My whole body is full of love before I've even made the meal, before they've even told me what they need. And as I express that love, I am love. I am love embodied. I am the house of love. I don't have to wait for someone to romance me. I don't have to wait for the love to be received. I just have to express it and experience it through my expression, and I am it. I think this is such a beautiful, powerful excerpt. I have it saved on my phone, and I look at it at least once a year. And I go through these practices of what do I want to be? Who do I want to embody? And I literally do it like that, step by step. And I walk myself through the process so that when it happens, I catch it. I'm present with it. I realize I am love, I am fun, whatever it is. There's no waiting. And so the point is, it's not like life isn't responding to my wish list. It's responding to my self-concept. Because the end of all of that, it says the world, the contemplation, I'm not saying that you should believe this. It's just something cool to contemplate. Like the world will follow what you believe about yourself. So now I'm the one tickling my kids and laughing with my colleagues. I am expressing I am fun. Now maybe my colleagues think I'm fun. They follow that belief about myself. Same with my neighbor or my friend that I knocked on the door to my neighbor. I wrote the letter to my friend like, oh, she's so loving, The world follows your idea of yourself, not your potential, not like these affirmations that you don't even believe in, not what you hope you'll be one day. What is your true idea of yourself? What is it? Because in there is where we do have science between identity and behavior. And that's what's fascinating, is that psychology actually backs this part up, that for decades, behavioral science has just been asking this simple question: what drives what we do? And across different models, identity keeps showing up as one of the strongest predictors of behavior. So research grounded in the theory of planned behavior shows that how we see ourselves predicts what we intend to do and what we actually do. Even if you control for motivation, for social pressure, for past habits. So like identity, it's not just like a title that we hold or this idea. It's actually a direction. It's predictive. It's the path that we're going to take. And studies published across journals like Personality and Social Psychology and Health Psychology show that people who identify as healthy eaters, let's say, they eat differently, even when they know the same information as everyone else. Let's take another example. Long-term volunteering. Like, it's so lovely to volunteer. How many of us actually volunteer like consistently? Even though it's like something I want to show my family and be an example of and contribute to this world. Maybe it's like once a year, if that. Long-term volunteers persist not because of willpower, but because they see themselves as I am a volunteer. It's an identity. It's not something I have to go do. It's something that I am. And this is one of the greatest things that you can use in creating your life. Like, you're trying to get a paper published, a garden planted. It's not like, oh, shoot, I have to go write that paper. I have to go plant that garden. It's, I am a writer. Therefore, I write. I am a gardener. Therefore, I garden. If we can shift it to identity, then we can reinforce the behavior. And the relationship goes both ways. So behavior reinforces the identity. Oh, I'm gardening. See, I'm a gardener. Oh, I'm writing. See, I'm a writer. So identity leads to behavior. Behavior also reflects back our identity. Another journal, which I'll have below, this meta-analysis review in Personality and Social Psychology review, suggests that identity functions as a kind of like embodied intention. So a living commitment to who we believe ourselves to be. So when we talk about our becoming, we're not being abstract. We're actually describing a well-documented human process. If you've ever heard of the self-fulfilling idea, that's this idea. Like the world follows your idea of yourself. So there's a concept, which I'm learning all of this with you guys. As I bring it to you, I'm learning it too. There's a concept in social psychology called the Pygmalion effect. It was first described in research published in Science, and then later it was expanded in American Psychologist. But in really simple terms, it shows that expectations will shape the outcome. So if a teacher expects the student to do well, guess what? They're subtly communicating that expectation through their tone, through their posture, through their attention, through their patience. You're going to do well. And you know what? The students rise to meet it. When the leader expects less of you, They're soft on you. It's okay if it's past the deadline. Oh, you don't want to do it, I'll do it for you. That gets fulfilled. That's the golem effect. So there is research behind these ideas, and the effects are real. They're not magical. There's a large meta-analysis published in the Journal of Applied Psychology, and it found that these self-fulfilling prophecies that we're talking about, they are contextual and they are relational. They're not just like absolute. And I think that that makes what we're talking about more powerful, not less, because it means that the world isn't like blindly manifesting our thoughts to us. People are responding to your confidence, your self-trust, your posture, your emotional availability, which are all downstream of how you see yourself, your identity. So that reflection of the world follows your idea of yourself, I don't mean like the world is obeying you. I mean, it meets you where you're standing. Neuroscience takes this like even deeper. There is a dominant framework in modern neuroscience called predictive processing. And there's at this point too many journals to overwhelm the show notes. So I'll put an abbreviated version, but this is Behavioral and Brain Sciences in the Lancet Psychiatry. But the basic idea is that your brain is not like passively just receiving reality. It is constantly predicting what's about to happen. How am I going to prepare for it? What am I going to do? It's vigilant, our brains. And then it's updating those predictions based on what it senses. So perception is like actually not that neutral. It's interpretive, which you know in this space because we talk about meaning making all the time. And so those predictions are shaped by past evidence, our past experience, our past emotional state, our identity, and our identity-related like expectations. There's another article that shows that emotional and motivational systems in the brain bias our perception before we even have a conscious thought about it, which is kind of wild. Like our brain is like already messing with the data and interpreting it for us before we can even like consciously interpret it. So if I see myself as unsafe, I will perceive threat much more easily. If I see myself as unworthy, I will miss signs that people care for me. If I see myself as playful, I'm going to notice more openings for joy. Our brains always seek evidence to support its beliefs. That's what the basis of bias is. There are hundreds of biases. So when we talk about co-creating reality, what are we talking about? You know, it's what is our system, our body, our brain available to perceive, to interpret, and to respond to. And I know in the past many episodes, we keep coming back to our body, but every time I do research on another topic, I keep coming back to the importance of emotion. So emotion, as you know, it's not an idea. It's not up here in our brain. It's down here. It's felt. It's an embodied state. So I'll put the journals in the show notes, but Frontiers in Psychology, Annual Review of Psychology show that emotions arise from patterns of bodily activation, meaning our posture, our breath, our muscle tone, our movement can also influence our emotions. Like joy has a shape, you know, mouth wide, I'm expanded. Fear has a shape, oh, contracted, small, worried, furrowed. You know, playfulness has a shape. And those shapes are visible, right? Because you just saw, I mean, maybe you're not watching the video of this, but you can imagine, you can see someone visibly. That's what nonverbal language is. You can identify someone's emotion by their body's expression of that emotion. So when we express that emotion, maybe it's through our face, our body, our voice. Others can simulate it inside of themselves. So we're embodying the emotion and then they're simulating it and they're also embodying the emotion. So have an embodied simulation. And that's also been studied. So it's not just like I'm feeling the emotion, but I'm actually transmitting the emotion. And now you're feeling the emotion too. And your body is simulating what I'm simulating. So when I soften, when I laugh and I open, I'm not just changing my own internal experience. I'm actually changing how others respond to me. They're going to simulate what I'm doing. And that also changes what's possible now between us. That's not like this passive manifestation. I desire for life to be fun. This is like relational physics. Like this even slightly goes above my head. But this is about co-creation. How do I become that thing? And how do others follow me being that thing? It's real. It's studied. So remember in the beginning of this episode, I was telling you I was actually trying to do a lit review on manifestation and co-creation in like healthcare. And in healthcare, co-creation refers to systems where outcomes emerge through participation, not control, where the patients, the clinicians, and the environments shape the results together. And if you're not in medicine, you can still take the same idea. Maybe it's your clients. Maybe it's your students. Maybe it's your colleagues. But this idea of participating all together between the environment, the giver and the receiver, that shapes the results. It's about the way we engage with each other in our environment. And life works the same way. I bring my beliefs, my behavior, my body expresses it, my presence. And life is just a mirror back to me, responding back to me, simulating back to me what I believe, what I'm embodying. And now there's something happening between us, you know? So I don't know about this word manifestation. Maybe people mean to say it as like what physically shows up for them. But what I think is more interesting is co-creation, about who we are while it's showing up, who we have to be in order for it to show up, in order to be the house of ... the house of love, the house of forgiveness, you know, to embody it. And how does that impact the environment around us so that it's mirrored back to us? So maybe that is an interesting question that you can ask too. Not just what am I calling in, but who am I becoming in response to what I desire? How do I have to rise to meet life? How do I have to be the person who can be that? Because when you rise to meet the desire, you don't have to chase it anymore. You become the house it lives in. When the house is ready, life moves in, you know? It's at your front door. We just have to open the door. Receive it, be it, express it, and experience it. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your becoming. Thank you for your co-creating. And for our ending tradition, I just have a couple of questions for you to chew on. I know this was a more like philosophical episode that I've been thinking about for a while. And I would love to hear what your reflections are, what your take is. I know that words are weighted and layered and have a lot of meaning to people. And as many people as there are will be as many meanings as there are. So let this just be a space of contemplation and play. And you continue to find you, whether it's through resonance and something made sense or through total contrast. And either way, you find the clarity of you. So, questions for our ending tradition. What identity am I currently living from? And how does that shape what I allow, tolerate, notice? What am I asking life for right now? And who would I need to be to truly live it? Not what it looks like on the outside, what I judge it to be, but to actually be the house of it. How would someone who already lives that life, who already is that thing, who already embodies it, how do they move? How do they speak? How do they rest? How do they relate? And how can I be just a little bit of that today without waiting for the evidence, but believing in my identity and the power that that has? Okay, I am wishing you all play, possibility, and peace Wishing you to feel supported in this space and so honored to be a part of your soul tribe. See you next week.